or a unit flow diagram, it is not there, right? So leaving this unit flow diagram of water treatment sources, characteristics of surface and subsurface sources, sampling, methods, preservation technique, drinking water quality standard, BIS standard, effect of water quality parameter, except the water treatment flow diagram, all these things will be included. Your module 2, all these things will be included, this half portion, right? This portion will be included for your internal. Okay, now we are going to see what is sampling. Right now we will see what is sampling, what are the objectives, what are the different methods, and how to preserve the water when we are going to have the sampling. But before going to the sampling, we should know why, what is sampling, and why we are going to have this sampling. That we need to see what is sampling first. Now, according to you, what may be, what you mean by sampling? Yes, what do you mean by sample, or in a general term, what is sample? Yes, any replies? Any replies? What is sample? What do you mean by sample? Yes, any replies?
Treatment.
Yes.
Treatment.
What? Gurfan Namakwale? What is that? Voice is not clear. Yes? Anybody knows? Anybody knows what is sample?
Collection of
Collecting water.
Collecting.
Collection of water for testing, sir.
Yes, it is a. See, yeah, fine.
Treatment.
Yes. So now I'm having water in my source. Okay. I'm going to have the water in my source. All right. This is your source of water. It might be river, it might be your pond, lake, right? Whatever it might be. So if I want to check the water quality, where I will be testing it? Yes. If I want to test the water quality of it, where I will be testing it? Anybody? In the water quality laboratory, water quality testing laboratory, or we say it as an environmental, environmental engineering lab, we are going to test it. But if I want to test the water, there should be some procedure in order to take this particular water, right? I cannot take it the way I want. I should specifically follow the procedure in order to collect the sample. Now, what is sampling is, I will be taking this particular water in one particular container, and I will be going to the lab in order to test this particular water quality, right? Now, before collecting this particular water sample, I should know what procedure I need to follow, right, in order to have the measure the parameters of this particular water sample. I will be, what are the water quality parameters? We are going to measure pH, chloride, alkalinity, acidity. We will be measuring how much is the color, how much is the odor, how much is the turbidity, etc. parameter. We are going to determine it, whether in order to give the conclusion, whether this particular water sample, whatever we have collected, or this particular source of water is fit for drinking or no, right? So this we need to, in order to determine this, we are going to follow, we need to collect the water first, and we need to take it into the laboratory in order to testing. Now, before this taking and testing, we are going to follow one procedure in order to collect the water from this particular source of water, right? This particular source of water, we need to follow one particular procedure. So sampling is nothing but it is the method of collection of a water sample from the source of water prior to bringing it to the laboratory, or in order to test the water sample, right? It is the method of collection of water sample from the source of water, right? It is a method of collection of the water from the source, right, in order to check the water quality parameter. So basically, sampling is nothing but it is a method of collection of water sample from the source of water, right? right, from the source of water. That is nothing but we call it as a sampling. It is a method of collection of water from the source in order to test it to the laboratory. So it is nothing but sampling is nothing but method of collection of water in short. Okay. So now we are going to have two methods. We are going to have two methods. First one is graph sampling, right? Here we have in syllabus, right? They have told that the methods of collection of this sample, graph sampling and composite sampling, graph and composite. Okay. So now what is graph sampling? Now what do you mean by graph? What is grabbing? What is grabbing? Yes, what is grab? What is grab? Collecting. See, right? Now suppose here I will be collecting the water sample from this particular source in a bottle. If I am going to collect it, right? If I collect the water sample at one particular point, at one particular depth, at one particular point, or say one particular place at a one particular depth, only a single time, right? Only a single time, right? Single depth, right? And say I may collect it in the morning, I may collect it in the evening, or I may collect it in the night at one particular depth. Only one time, if I collect that water, and if I'm coming to the laboratory, and with this particular water sample, I'm coming taking it only one particular time, right? One particular depth I'm going to collect. And if I'm coming to the laboratory and if I'm testing, right? This particular method, we call it as an graph sampling, right? With this method, we call it as a graph sampling. Okay. Is it clear? Right? It is a graph sampling is nothing but the collection of water from one particular depth at one particular time, right? Only once, if I'm going to collect that particular sampling, I call it as a graph sampling. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, what is graph sampling is clear? Yes? Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So this is what a graph sampling is. At one particular depth, right? Only one time. Okay. One particular depth, one particular time, either morning, either night, or either evening, right? And one particular depth. So this is what your graph sampling is. Now I will tell, right? Now, is this a good method of collection? Is it a good method or a proper method of collection of water sample? And is it a proper method? Yes?
No, sir.
Why it is not proper method? Why it is not proper method? Yes? Why it is not a proper method? Now, here, if I collect a sample at one particular point, say I may collect from here, I may collect from here, or I may collect from here, or I may collect somewhere from here. If I collect at one particular point only, right? As I have told regarding DO and all, the parameter, if it is going to where, right, from depth to depth, the parameter is going to vary. At various points, the parameter is going to vary, right? So if I collect at this particular depth only, it may represent the whatever I have collected, it may represent only the water characteristics at surface, right? But if I go down, there might be something is going on, right? Something is going on at the bottom. So I may not get, if I take this particular water, right, at this particular point, I will be getting the characteristics of water at this particular point only. I won't get the overall water condition in this particular source of water. I won't get it. So in order to, this is an disadvantage that graph sampling is going to have, right? And I cannot completely depend upon, right? I cannot completely depend upon whatever the characteristics it is going to give at one particular place, one time, right? I cannot depend on it because the parameter, it may vary from place to place, right? The parameter may vary from place to place, from depth to depth, it is going to vary. It cannot be same, right? It cannot be same at all the points. As you go down from top to bottom, right? The water quality parameter, it is going to vary. So I cannot depend upon the grab sampling. Is it clear? Is it clear? And
Yes, sir.
this particular grab sampling, I cannot use it for telling that this will be the water quality of the entire water body. I cannot conclude based upon grab sampling. I cannot able to conclude whether whatever the sample you have corrected, it is going to give you the overall picture of the water body. No, I cannot give it. So this is what your grab sampling is. Right. Now we will see what is a composite. What do you mean by composite? What is composite? Can anybody tell me what is composite? What do you mean by mean? Yes, it is the combination, right? It is a combination. Now, what does combination mean? Now, I have told that I in grab sampling only one time, right? Only once a time at one particular depth. Only one time I am coming and I will be collecting. Now, composite sampling is nothing but, right? I will be collecting the water at a different depth, right? I will be collecting the water at different depth during a different times of a day. I will be collecting, right? Now here I will be using bottle number 1, bottle number 2, bottle number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I will be collecting all these bottles, right? I will be collecting all these bottles, right? And I will be keeping into one particular, mixing into a container, all these bottles, I will be adding into the container. Now, what is this? What is this now? Yes, I will be taking the water sample from the different depth, different times of a day. I will be collecting and I will bringing in the laboratory and I will be mixing it, or I will mix here itself, right? I will mix here itself and I will be bringing it. Now, what is this?
Combining.
Now, what is this? It is nothing but it is combining. Now, what it will tell you? So, it is having this particular composite sampling is having a capacity to tell the overall picture, right? The overall picture of this water body, right? This is going to tell you the overall picture of the water body, what is going to happen inside this is whether I'm combining all the depths, different times of a day, I will be combining and I will be giving you the how the water quality is there in this particular water body. Can I depend on this reading? Can I depend on this reading? Whatever the quality, or after testing the laboratory different say parameter, if I'm going to have it, can I depend upon this parameter? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Can I depend on this? Yes. Have you understood composite sampling or no? Have you understood what is composite sampling?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can I depend on this value? Can I depend on this value? Prajwal?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Why you can depend is because you have given the overall picture of that water body. Okay. You have given the overall picture of this water body. You have collected different time, morning once, say at 8 a.m. or 6 a.m., 6 a.m., 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 a.m. or 12 p.m., say say 3 o'clock, evening 6 o'clock, again 9 p.m. So you have collected the different times at, say, you have collected 1 meter depth, 2 meter depth, 3 meter, 4 meter, 5 meter, like this you have collected, and it is going to give you the overall picture of that water body. It is you are bringing and you are mixing it, and you are going to tell whether this particular water, how the overall picture of that particular water body is. Okay, so you can depend, you can conclude on this particular water sample, whatever you have collected, you can conclude and you can give the overall picture. And this particular water sample is going to be very, very important. The sampling is going to be very, very important when, suppose if you want to design, see here, based upon sampling itself, you are going to tell that whether your water body is fit for drinking or no, or how the water quality will be. So your sampling procedure is going to be very, very important if you want to say, if you want to give a conclusion of the water, how the water quality is. So water quality is one of the important parameter which is going to be dependent upon this sampling. So we are basically, if we want to have the accurate results and all, we should follow the composite sampling, right? We should follow the composite sampling. Okay, so this is regarding the methods of the sampling. Now graph sampling we have completed. We have completed what is composite sampling. We already know what is sampling. It is a method of collection of water, right? If you want to test the water for the water quality analysis, right? And we are going to bring this collected sample into the laboratory. So this is what your sampling is. But in order to collect this water, right, how you are going to collect the water? Yes. In what kind of a container? Because you know what are the different methods, but you don't know how to collect it, right? So how you are going to collect the water sample? In which containers you are going to collect? How you are going to collect? Within what period the collected water sample has to be tested? It is not that only if the method is correct, then whatever the parameter you are going to get, right, that are proper only. No, right? It is, suppose the method of collection, right, is also going to be important. The method of collection you have studied, but in what containers you have to collect, how the container should be, right? And within what period, whatever the collected water you need to test, right? At what temperature you need to keep your collected water. All these things or all these aspects are going to be very, very important. Now, do you know in which of the containers I need to collect? Right? I need to collect the water in what kind of a containers? Yes? In
Because
Plastic bottles.
okay, plastic bottles. Okay. Then any other containers?
because
No, beakers. No, madam. Because if beakers will be exposed to the atmosphere. No. Okay. We will be using we should use the bottles, right? Either it might be glass or either it might be a plastic, but more favorable is glass. We are going to use the glass bottle. We should use the glass bottles in order to collect the water sample. We should use the glass bottle. Okay. Now, if not, then we can use the polythene bottles. If not, we can use the polythene. Okay. Okay. So polythene bottles also we can use. Polythene means your plastic bottles. Okay. But usually your glass is non-reactive, right? Whatever might be this particular water, if it is contaminated, right? If it is going to have more acids in it, then if you use a polythene bottles or a plastic bottles, it may react with it and it may give you some, say, varying parameter. It may give you the varying parameter if you collect this in your polythene or your plastic bottle. But glass, usually it is not going to be get affected by either acids or bases. So normally we should prefer the glass bottles. Okay. Now we need to, before, might be this particular glass bottle is having some food material or say sauce or any kind of say juice or your soft drinks. Can I use this? No. I should wash it properly, right? I should wash it properly if any of the ingredients are there prior to collecting, I should take care that all the impurities are there, whatever was there in the bottle, it has to be washed completely, and there should not be having any smell, any of the content of the previous material that was there in those particular bottle. Okay, so this is the first important thing. And now I should collect the water at least say 2 to 3 feet from the top, right? I should collect the water at least 2 to 3 feet from the top. That means I should collect either 1 meter or say 0.8 meter below the top surface level. I should not collect the water at the top surface, and I should bring it to the laboratory and I should check it. Now, usually what will happen, suppose if the water body is going to have, say, moving boats, right? Moving boats and all, if it is there, then there will be the oil will be there at the top of the water body. And if I collect that kind of water, right, I may get some oil content in that, and I may conclude that, right, I may conclude that this water is going to have the oil and grease in it, and I cannot use this particular water. No, right? So that is the reason why I should collect the water from at least 2 to 3 feet below the surface. And suppose there might be, if anybody is going to throw the plastic and all, and again leaves, right, all those things, right, again it is going to create a problem. So I need to collect the water at least 3 feet below the top surface. Okay, and whatever the whatever the water that you have collected, it should be tested, right? You are going to take this particular water, and you are going to test this. You have taken the bottle and you are going to come to the laboratory in order to test. But if you collect the water and you are going to come after 8 days, right? Now, suppose if there any of the biodegradable elements are there in your water sample, right? If you are coming, and if you are taking the water sample, and if you are going to take around 8 days, if any biological content is there, right, 8 days if you take, and if any biological content is there in this water body, right, then whatever say, it may affect your DO, it may affect your BOD, whatever it is going to affect the parameters of the water quality, right? It may affect. You should, after taking the water sample, you should test this particular water sample within 24 from the time of collection at, say, the temperature of around 20 degrees Celsius, or say 25 degrees Celsius, or standard room temperature. If you are bringing this sample, and if you are going to if you are bringing this sample at a 25 standard temperature conditions, then you should test it within 24 hours. Now, if you are bringing the sample and you can test it, if you want to bring this particular, you are going to collect the water sample somewhere in Bangalore and you want to test it in Belgaum. So what you should do, you can test it at a standard temperature 24 hours, right? But if you are if you want some another stop, right, say it may take you to 2 days, 1.5 days in order to reach Belgaum, right? So in that condition, you should store the water for at 4 degrees Celsius or in the refrigerator, and you can test it within 48 hours. So you are going to get a 2 days gap, right? From the point of collection, or from the date of time of collection, you are going to get, right, 2 days gap. Within the 2 days, if you are maintaining the temperature of around 4 degrees Celsius, right, you can have the testing after within 2 days also. So this is what the important thing that you need to take care, right? Now, I wanted to tell some other aspect in the sampling, right? Just a minute, I will be telling some other aspect in the sampling. So this is clear regarding how many days, right? At what temperature, what containers you need to use. Is it clear? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Is it? Okay. Now, I'll tell you some other important aspect. suppose this is your water body. This is your water body. Can I collect the water sample from the banks or from the bottom, complete bottom? Banks
No,
or
sir.
complete bottom? Why? This is your bank, right? Can I collect the water from the banks or complete, say at a say deeper depths or say at the base? Can I collect the water from here?
No, sir. Because of sustainable solids, sir.
Yes.
Fatality solids.
If, yes, very good. If you are going to have collect the water sample from the banks, right, or from the bottom, neither from the bottom, neither from the top. Top, I have told you what will be the problem. But bottom again, if you go and collect, there will be the different types of solids will be there in that water. So you should not collect the your water from the too much bottom of, or so that you should get the solid in water sample. No, right? You should collect it before your say before the complete depth of your water body, because at the banks and all you will get, right, you will get too many number of solids in the from the banks if you are going to collect the water sample. You should not collect the water sample from the complete inside depth of your water body. You should collect it 3 feet below, and you should collect it 2 feet, at least 2 feet above from your say the complete depth of the tank, complete depth of the water body, right? Now, so this is the thing, one more important thing that you need to follow, right? And whenever you are going to take the bottle, right, you should keep the bottle in an inclined position, right? You should keep the bottle in an inclined position. You should keep it like this, and you should collect the water, and after collecting you should take it like this, right? You should take it like this, right? So this is what the procedures that you need to follow, or the precautions you need to follow when you are going to have the sampling. Now in today's class we have discussed what is sampling. What is sampling, right? What is sampling? Can anybody tell me
Collection of
what? It is a method of collection of water from the water body in order to test the water into the laboratory. Okay, so sampling we have studied. What are the different methods of sampling we have studied? Uh, then methods or techniques of sampling we have studied. What precautions we needed to take, that we have studied, right? So this is what we have discussed in today's class. Objectives of sampling. What are the objectives in order to test how the water quality, and this sampling itself is going to tell you how the water quality, how much quantity of the treatment that we require. Suppose the water body is going to have little bit of pollution is there, then after determining the pollution levels, we can tell how much, to what degree we can, to what degree we have to give the treatment to the water body, that we are going to get it. So this is why we are going to have the sampling, and then we will be we have studied objectives, methods, preservation techniques. So this sampling we have completed in today's class. So we have almost completed the second, say your at least 50% of your module 2. So in our further classes we will be discussing regarding say your unit flow diagram of water treatment, right? So probably we may include this also. We will see. We will have the conclusion on it on Thursday. What will be there, what is not there. But at least whatever the part has been covered, sources, characteristic, preservation technique, right? All these things will be covered. Now, probably in your tomorrow's class, we will be discussing regarding the unit flow diagram of your water treatment. So from tomorrow onwards, right? From tomorrow onwards, your exact water treatment is going to start. So what these are the few of the basics that we have already covered, right? From tomorrow's class onward, we will be covering the actual water treatment, that is your flow, what will be there in your treatment, water treatment, right? Water treatment units, whatever it is there, or your water treatment plants, whatever it is there, that we are going to study from tomorrow's class onwards. After this, right, we will be seeing what is screening, what is aeration, what is the sedimentation, all these things will be covered in your further classes. So from here onwards, your exact water treatment plant we are going to see till your module 4, right? Till right from here till your module 4, we are going to cover entire water treatment, right? Till this, we are going to cover the procedure of the water treatment plant, how the water is going to be get treated. Is it clear? Is it clear? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have covered today's class regarding sampling, and from tomorrow onwards, we are going to cover the unit flow diagram for water treatment plant and some other aspects that has been included. So again, I may cover intake structure, right? Prior to going to your water treatment, I may cover regarding the intake structures, and then I may move with your exact water treatment. Okay. So if any doubts are there, then you can ask. Any doubts are there? Yes, any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, so we'll end the session over here. Thank you.